Picture this. Another Browns collapse, another gut-wrenching loss, another locker room drowning in familiar despair. But this time, something was different. While veterans sat in stunned silence and cameras hunted for tears, one player stood up. Not the captain, not the starter, not even the backup. A third-string rookie quarterback walked across that locker room and did something that might just change everything. His name is Shedeur Sanders, and if you're not paying attention yet, you're about to miss the most important story in Cleveland football. What happened after that crushing Bengals loss wasn't captured by highlight reels or stat sheets. When that rookie kicker sat broken after missing what could have been the game winner, most players turned away. Some stared at the floor. Others headed straight for the showers. But Shedeur? He walked over, stood beside a teammate drowning in humiliation, and simply stayed there. No lecture. No hollow pep talk. Just presence. That moment right there might be worth more than any touchdown pass he'll ever throw. See, we've been conditioned to believe franchise quarterbacks announce themselves with cannon arms and highlight reel magic. 60-yard bombs that silence stadiums. Impossible escapes that defy physics. But the real ones, they start with something much quieter. They start with character that shows up when the lights are dimmest and hope feels furthest away. And that's exactly what Cleveland witnessed. A 22-year-old kid, buried on the depth chart with 0 NFL snaps to his name, naturally stepping into the leadership void that's plagued this franchise for decades. Not because he was told to. Not because cameras were rolling. Because that's who he is. You want to know what makes this different from every other Browns quarterback story? This isn't about hype. It's not about potential or draft position or combined numbers. This is about a player already earning something most veterans spend years chasing. Genuine respect from his teammates. Joe Flacco sees it. Myles Garrett recognizes it. In a locker room full of grown men who've been through the wars, the rookie is setting the emotional temperature. That's not normal. That's franchise-changing rare. Let's talk about what we're really witnessing here. Cleveland has been searching for their quarterback savior for over 2 decades. High draft picks, big money free agents, blockbuster trades. They've tried everything except the one thing that actually matters, finding someone who could hold the culture together when it's cracking apart. Talent was never Cleveland's problem. They've had loaded rosters, explosive playmakers, and defensive monsters. But every single time the fourth quarter tightened, they crumbled. Mental breakdowns, costly penalties, players pointing fingers instead of lifting each other up. You know why? Because they lacked an anchor. Not on the field, but in the locker room. Shedeur Sanders is quietly becoming that anchor. Think about the audacity of this moment. A rookie quarterback, third on the depth chart, showing more leadership in defeat than this organization has seen from starters in years. While everyone else processed their own disappointment, he was already thinking about someone else's pain. That's not coaching. You can't teach that kind of instinctive empathy. And here's what makes it even more remarkable. He's doing this without any guarantee he'll ever see the field. Most players in his position would be focused on their own development, their own opportunities. But Shedeur understands something deeper. Real leadership doesn't wait for titles or starting positions. It shows up when it's needed most. This is Deion Sanders' son we're talking about. A kid raised in film rooms, shaped by pressure, molded by expectations his entire life. He didn't stumble into the NFL by accident. He was built for moments exactly like this. And while everyone's debating his arm strength or his pocket presence, he's already demonstrating the most important quality a quarterback can have, the ability to make everyone around him better. You see, breaking curses isn't about talent alone. Cleveland's had plenty of talented players. Breaking curses is about changing culture, shifting energy, creating new patterns when the old ones keep leading to heartbreak. And that's what we're watching happen in real time. Every quiet moment Shedeur spends supporting his teammates is another brick in a foundation this franchise has been trying to build for 25 years. Every gesture of leadership is proof that maybe, just maybe, they finally found their guy. But here's the beautiful irony of it all. After chasing saviors and superstars for decades, Cleveland's answer might be the kid who's not even asking for the spotlight. He's not demanding the keys to the offense or making bold predictions about championships. He's just showing up day after day, proving he can carry the weight of being a Brown without breaking under it. When his number finally gets called, and trust me, this won't feel like a desperate gamble on an unproven rookie. It'll feel like the natural next step for someone who's already been leading without the title. Picture that moment. Fourth quarter, everything on the line, Shedeur Sanders jogging into the huddle. His teammates won't see a nervous rookie making his debut. They'll see the same steady presence who lifted them up in their darkest hour, who stayed calm when chaos surrounded them, who proved he could handle the weight before anyone asked him to carry it. That's the difference between hoping for greatness and knowing it's already there. The NFL is evolving. Teams don't just want quarterbacks who can throw anymore. They want culture architects, leaders who can inspire locker rooms and connect with cities. Shedeur Sanders already has the pedigree, the composure, and the story. Now, he's proving he has the intangibles too, the ones you can't measure at the combine but always show up when championships are on the line. So while everyone else debates completion percentages and touchdown-to-interception ratios, pay attention to what really matters. Watch how veterans respond to him. Notice how the energy shifts when he's around. See how he handles adversity before he ever has to handle a pass rush. Because this isn't just another quarterback story. This is Cleveland's story. A city that's endured more false dawns than should be humanly possible, finally getting a glimpse of what authentic leadership looks like. Not the manufactured kind that sounds good in press conferences, but the real thing that shows up in silence and grows stronger in darkness. The Browns didn't win that night against Cincinnati. Shedeur Sanders didn't throw a single pass. But if you were really watching, if you understand what builds winning cultures, you know that game was never about the scoreboard. It was about the shift, the crack in the foundation of losing, the quiet moment that whispered this team doesn't have to stay broken forever. And maybe that's the most Cleveland thing ever. After chasing splash signings and highlight reel heroes for years, their salvation might come from the kid who doesn't need the spotlight because he already knows how to be the light in someone else's darkness. So believe it now or watch it unfold later. Either way, Cleveland's curse may have finally met its match. Not in arm strength or mobility, but in the kind of leadership that transforms franchises from the inside out. The kind that doesn't announce itself with press conferences, but with presence. The kind that doesn't wait for permission, but simply steps up when stepping up matters most. If you're as locked in on this quiet revolution as we are, hit that subscribe button for Brown's Breakout, because this story isn't ending anytime soon. When Shedeur Sanders finally gets a shot, he won't just be taking the field, he'll be taking the reins of a franchise he's already been leading from the shadows. And Cleveland, your long nightmare, might finally be turning into the dream you never dare believe could come true.